All right, we live, baby. Hopefully, see if this is working. YouTube and X. Good. Sweet. All right, what's up, guys? Let's get this out there. Working. Appreciate you, Z. Everybody could please like and retweet the stream. Let everyone know we live. We send it in Discord as well. All right. Yeah, it's live on YouTube too. Cool. Thank you, thank you. Please like and retweet the live stream. Live stream is always recorded, so try to get out there to reach everybody. For those that cannot attend it live, let them able to watch the recording later. So please like and retweet. Yeah, so what's up, Keith? What's up, man versus market? I did. I had a great long holiday weekend. Hope you did as well, brother. Appreciate you. All right. Sweet. Already 200 people in here. We're going to jump into this. So, last week was freaking amazing. I haven't seen easier price action on SPY like that in a while. Zone to zone, level to level, just back and forth all week. So, it was nice. For SPY, personally, I think I would just use the previous high, a break and hold above that to then target near those other two all-time highs. So what's this? 562. Make that one white. Make this one white. Drop it down to the 5 real quick. Yeah. So 564.2 and then like 562 psych level. That's going to be my call and put trigger for SPY. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm going to mark 562. I like my level that I already have on here better, around 561.70. I think that's going to be a better spot. So 564.2 call trigger on SPY. Targets above are just going to be like those previous two wicks on the daily to the all-time highs. So essentially just around that. Target's going to be about 75 cents to $1 upside to go hit all-time highs. After that, who fucking knows, right? Just make new all-time highs every single day. After that, see where the next ceiling is above. Downside 561.7. QQQ, 478 call trigger. $474 probably. I like the 474.50, but I think if it really does break and hold under 474, that would be a good put trigger. So, and it's right at 476. So we got supply. Yeah, look at that supply up there. That's going to be big. That's going to be a short to initially start. So mark this zone on QQQ right here. Mark 474.4 up to 478. This initially is not a chase the breakout. I think we're like gonna rip. Fuck. This initially is gonna be a put and a short. So this zone right up here, initially gonna look to go short. Just because you'll see this is previous supply rejections every time to send it back down to that 474. Below that, I mean, it went down to 471. Jesus, it actually went down to 465 the day after it was tested. So, talking over a $10 drop potentially on QQQ, at least a good $5 to $7 drop with a trend down after it rejects it. So pops up here. Initially, going to look to go short and then take it lower. The only way I will long is if it breaks above 478, and when it does the SR flip here to make 478 now support, take it up to 480. And that'll be target on QQQ. Downside, if QQQ ends up going down below 474, look for the SR flip. I'm going to take it down to 471.40. Right there on the SR flip of 474, that's going to be where I initially look to get into a put position. Testing 474 area right here. Initially, we'll look to get the calls to go long off it if buyers step in and still show it as support. If it breaks, then obviously be getting out of any kind of long position up on in one, and then look on the breakdown and then the pop, short the pop at the retest, hopefully at 474 to take it down to 471.4 and then 470 psych level on QQQ. Next, as always, is IWM. Bobby said he can't comment on the YouTube one. What? Uncle Frank. What's up, Uncle Frank? Let me see if I can check the live chat for X, though. Make sure that's working at least. Yes, it is. Sweet. What's up, Dace? Tech Wood. 474 on QQQ, just previous demand and big support down there. So buyers showing that they're stepping in around that area to try to defend it. So just kind of rinse and repeat until proven otherwise. Testing all those areas, kind of how I traded SPY all last week. For SPY, just real quick before I go chart IWM, there was three things needed to mark, and that was 563, 560, and 557. If you would have marked that $3 like wide spread, just 560 right in the middle, $3 up, $3 down, and played the zones and the bounces and retest off those throughout the entire week, you would have freaking crushed it. Essentially, that's what I did majority of the time. Outside of the NVIDIA earnings, stuff that happened after hours when it tanked and then reclaimed. But 220.5 up to 221. This is going to be your initial supply and your resistance. So sellers step in. You got some top wick shooting star candles up here in this area on IWM. Going to look to initially take it short. I love IWM because freaking targets are always like 50 cents, like quarter increment, so it's really easy. Downside, this 219 area right here, that seems to be really big. To 218.75. Yeah. There's another. Say about here. This will initially be my demand and my support. So IWM comes down and hits my demand and my support. I'll look at 219. I'll look to take it back up to this 218.75 ish area, and then pop up to the 220 cycle level 220.50. Probably be making new highs for the day, hitting previous day high. So I'll be exiting majority of the position there. If it breaks underneath this zone here and does an SR flip and they slam it and reject it, it's a short to pop at that 219, take it back down here to a 218 to 217.50. So that's how I'll look to potentially go short on IWM. Initially getting that pop up here between the 220.50, 221 area, as the chart shows within the last 1, 2, 3, and then chop right here, and then 4 over here. 4 out of the last 5 trading sessions last week. This has shown to be a big spot where they tend to reject and slam it back down. So the 220, 50, 221 will look to go short, take it back down to target the 220 cycle level real quick. If it breaks below that, take it back down to the 219 area, this demand. And by that point, be exiting majority because that's where buyers can step in. The only way I will go long on IWM is a break and hold above that 220.50, 221, do that SR flip to then take it back up to 222, 222.50. That's how I will look to potentially trade upside and downside on IWM this week. That looks good. I like it. Just want to see what this looks like. If I like color code this, goes down here, and then like to take it up higher, higher. 2 different ways to like trade this. All right, so SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Uncle Frank, what's up? I did. I had a great weekend with the family. I hope you had a great weekend as well. Appreciate you, Keith. So outside of SPY, QQQ, and IWM, The three that I have are Microsoft. Talked with Jordan last night on his stream about Microsoft. Microsoft looks really good on the daily chart here. Closed a daily hammer candle. The tricky thing is, it is between the daily 9 and daily 21. It is closer to the daily 21, which is good. So hopefully you get a next nice green candle breaking and holding above the daily 21 here, which would be fantastic, which is lining up at 417.27. So it's 13 cents away from where Microsoft last closed at. If you also go to, believe, the weekly, there you go. Look where the weekly 9 and 21 is at right there. That's going to be the big spot that Microsoft really needs to break and hold above, in my opinion, for it to go higher. So pull up the chart. I already freaking forgot what it was. 422. 422. So if I go to the 5-minute here, right there, 422. Look at that. What day was this? Thursday. The big rejection on Microsoft Thursday for this absolutely beautiful chart of a short. This red shooting star rejection directly at 10 a.m. where it never broke above and reclaimed, and then it continued to put in a lower high here, and then it sold off all the way down to the opening price that morning as well. So just completely reversed this entire move that it had in the first 30 minutes of the day, that huge pump. That shooting star right there on the 5-minute was a direct rejection of that daily 9 and 21 EMA right there around that 422 cycle level. So currently still sitting there on the daily and weekly off by like, I think a few cents, like 10 to 14 cents or something. So if you have 418 right here, which I think 418 to 419, I think I would like 419 personally. So if it can break and hold above 419, quickly get that pop up to 420 to 420.4. If it breaks above 420.4, it's going to go enter into this previous supply zone that starts around 421.60 to 422. That's going to line up around your daily and weekly 9 and 21 EMA. So that's going to be a full target for me if I'm in calls on Microsoft above 419. So I'm going to take it to 420, 420.4 scale. It goes to 421.60, 422. That's going to be a big scale. Put a stop in profit and then be out at least 3/4 of my position or be in runners by that point. And if it can clear 422, 425 will be next on Microsoft. So you've got this huge doji candle here on the weekly forming right now, and those EMAs are right up there. But again, the daily closed with that green hammer candle. So this is last Friday's high, which is going to be around that 419 area. It was 419.26 to be exact. So it's looking like it can break above that and do a quick SR flip. Get that pop back up to Thursday's high, and then you'll see it should get a nice pop back up to 424.70, which is that 425 area. So main mark this area here. Yeah, 424.78, so around that. I'm looking to also sell a put credit spread on Microsoft this week. After that, something different. INTU, Intuit, also has a daily hammer candle here. It is just currently below its daily 9 EMA. You'll see this indicator that I have on already marks this zone right here. So that's going to be where I'm looking for it to break and hold above. So it is 631. If it breaks and holds under 621, I'll look to take it short down to 610. But I'm looking to go a little bit on the bull side for this thing. There is a lot of different things that I'm seeing right here. So for one, it's a squeeze indicator for the weekly. This thing's been a massive squeeze for a while. April 15th, it's been a squeeze. Initially was downside, now it's curling and it's going upside. It has not fired yet, so it's still in the squeeze on the weekly. Um, the weekly is topping out around this 675 area, right? But if I look at this chart, I can make a case for a potential inverse head and shoulders right here. I think that's pretty clear. I can kind of perfect that a little bit. And then at the same time, draw a trend line here on these higher lows right here and take them up to that area. Let me flip it over here to the daily real quick. That way I can actually line that up correctly. Oh yeah, lines up absolutely like perfect. So you got this potential inverse head and shoulders set up on the daily and weekly, right? You got this low down here. You got a higher low put in right here. And then again on the daily right here, another higher low. So it's got this wedge or this triangle that it's building right now. That 675 ceiling. Another level right here, 645. So again, I like the daily hammer candle. Perfect this a little bit more while we're here. And I'll screenshot this. So 631 starts to break and hold above 631. I will look to go long. Breaks underneath this trend line and underneath probably around, looks to be between 616 and that 621 area. So give or take a few. Looks like 616 is actually going to line up pretty good between the 616 and 620 area. So if it breaks and holds underneath that trend line and that area there, look to go short. I'm looking to also sell a put credit spread on this name as well. So breaks above 631. Going to go long into a put credit spread for Friday. Go look at the options changes for shits and giggles real quick. 4 DTEs. These things are pricey, which is good because I can go far out of the freaking money. Spreads are going to be a little weird on some of these. Gotta find one where the spread's not terrible. Like I can sell the 607.5s for $1.20. And go like $20 wide, 25. I'd go $17 wide, probably like the 590s. Collect almost like $100 of premium, right? So we'll have to see where these premiums adjust to on Monday. But I mean, because some of these, like the bid's like 240 and the ask is 550, which is just dumb. So let's see where these adjust. But then there's some down here that have like, there's 595s. I can get a mid-fill at 55. The bid's 45. The ask is 65. So do that for 50. The 607s is $1 and $1.40. So it's a $40 spread, but I can go do mid-fill at 20. So I can get $80 for premium if I do that spread. So I'll have to see where those contracts line up. But for farther dated calls like September 20s to go long, again, gotta find ones where the contracts aren't like crazy. And target around the 675 area. So daily hammer candle, I like this name as well. This potential inverse head and shoulders and that trend line hold. The last one is PLTR, obviously. Selling a put credit spread on PLTR every single week has been one of the best freaking things that I've done. So PLTR just had a hammer candle, a red hammer candle, but a hammer candle, bounce off of $30 psych level, a clear SR flip, resistance previously, just got flipped to support. Holding above the daily 21 that EMA that day that it hit that support, printed an inverted green hammer candle near the bottom of downtrend with a previous hammer candle kind of right before it as well. So, and then on the third day, it broke above the daily 9 EMA, which is very bullish, and closed a green hammer candle. So looking to potentially sell $30 puts on PLTR and buy the 28s probably. Do a $2 wide spread, sell the 30s because the delta's at 0.21. So I'll collect about $27 a premium there, sell the 28s 24. So do the math for the 28, 24 bucks I'll collect. So you could do 10 spreads, collect 240 bucks. For those ones, I usually only do a couple, like that cheap, or potentially scale and add more into them. It's a short week this week, so we'll see how things move. If things chop for the majority of the week, then that's fantastic. It's what credit spreads thrive on, is burning premium off, because you're an option seller over here. So if we want to chop, I'll sell premium all day long on these names, but the chart leads me to believe it's going to go upside. So I'm going to do the put credit spread, sell those 30s, but then also look to take calls. Not for this week. I'll probably take next week contracts. So looking to enter into $32 and $33 calls. Mainly those $33 calls for September 13th. The 32s are just over $1. The 33s are cheap. They're 66 bucks. Decent volume on those. Higher volume on the 35s and higher open interest. Those are really cheap, $24. I would probably go to September 20th. And if I had to roll anything, just roll into the 34s or 35s there. A lot of volume and open interest on those 35s. 10,000 volume, 24,000 open interest. That's the highest volume. The highest open interest contract is the 32s, which aren't bad. They're $1.25. So I like 32, 33, 34, and 35 dollar calls. Mainly probably the 32s to 33s for next week and the week after. So September 13th and September 20th. On PLTR, if I go over here to this 4 hour real quick, let me turn off MMK zones real quick. So what I will look for is it looks like it's lining up fairly close. there. So also on PLTR, 921 EMA crossover, right? 9 breaks underneath the 21, um, signaled the reverse for the trend change. So what's upside went downside, right? It's a short the pop every time the 9 and 21 EMA is tested. Rejecting the 9 EMA is a strong trend, honestly, and if it tests the 21, lower risk, higher reward trade entry to short the pop on that name. And that's exactly what happened here, and then it stayed below the 9. Now, it's getting some big green candles, good volume coming in, and on this candle here, it is now getting a 9 and 21 EMA crossover back to the upside. So you can probably articulate a flag here. If you want to call this a bull flag, you can kind of use that like trend line there, one here. So it's got this potential bull flag here, but mainly just watching the break and hold above the trend line. If the EMAs start to curl up and line up around that trend line, on that retest of that can be a good call entry as well. So if it breaks above it right here, it pulls back down, get the call entry, and then target back up to like $32, right? So looking for this on PLTR. Is that an inverse head and shoulders? Let me turn all this craziness off real quick. A little bit ish. I could be crazy, but I mean, you got this right here. You got the lower low here for the head. Pops up, a little slanted. Honestly, let me get rid of this. It looks better if you just do the arc. If you mark that right here and then hit that low, right? Mark this right here, you hit that low. Mark this area here, and you hit that. What the shit? Mark this area here, and hit those lows. Right? So it's a little wonky because one shoulder is a little bit higher than the other. Saw that better on the 4 hour. See that curl here, and that curl right here. So could be a potential inverse head and shoulders there. So if it pops up, rejects that previous high around like 3180, it pulls back to the trend line or where these daily 921 EMAs line up, that could be that good call entry on the retest for a lower risk entry, higher reward trade. Take it back up to that equal previous high and then target like $32 psych level. After that, just 50-cent increments after that. It's going to be 32.50, give or take a few cents, $33, give or take a few cents. And it's kind of how PLTR moves whenever it hits those 50-cent dollar levels. That tends to be where it reacts at. Watching Casey break down his charts, this guy's a sniper taking all the notes I can. Appreciate you, buddy. You're on the West Coast, you made a habit of joining spaces at 6 a.m. I at least start my day in the market by getting updates for yours and Jordan's spaces. Thanks. I appreciate you. That's one thing I'm glad I live on the East Coast. God, if I had to wake up and trade at 6 a.m. every morning, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I don't get up till about 8, 8:30. Eat breakfast, feed the freaking 3 kids, and then go lock myself in a room with my laptop and AirPods and cell phone for hours and then go trade. So, SPY, QQQ, IWM, Microsoft, Intuit, and Palantir. those are the 6 names I'm looking to trade this week. Mainly SPY more than anything. Um, and then I like Microsoft calls as well. And then Microsoft, Intuit, PLTR. There are also names I'm looking to sell credit spreads, put credit spreads this week on. So we will see how this week goes. It's going to be a short week, obviously, just due to technically the Sunday night stream on Monday night right now because market's closed. 1.2K people in here. Appreciate you guys. So let me check the chat real quick. Make sure there's no other questions before I jump off. Let me check Discord. Make sure there's no other questions over here if I missed anything. So we're gonna have another great week. Had a really, really solid trading last week. Last week was one of my best trading weeks, just in general. Not just because of the trades that I took, just because of honestly the charts, the technical analysis, and the homework behind it, and just following to it like a freaking computer and a robot, just rinse and repeat the same zones, levels, using the same strategy like every single day and just executing right when it hit. And it showed that buyers were present, sellers were present, and then having the conviction to stay in the trade, let it play out, then take it to the next spot and then just do that again. Um, so the charts worked very, very well this week. SPY just respected those key areas of supply and demand and those levels just multiple times. So I know that probably got really bright, all those freaking colors, right? So just rinse and repeat. So it was really good price action. I enjoyed it. Oh man, the torch went out. Would be nice to be done like noon. That's the goal, honestly. That's the goal, to always be done. Always be done by noon. I watch is like the freaking goal. Squeeze indicator. The one that I use is TTM Squeeze Pro, and then up here on the top right of my charts, it actually will tell me what time frame this stock currently is in a squeeze on. So right now, SPY is currently in a squeeze on a 4 hour. This is multiple time frame squeeze. Also by Beardy Fred on TradingView. Free indicator. TTM Squeeze Pro. Last thoughts on SPY. I hope we stay in the freaking range so I can trade again. Reject freaking this 473 area, bring it back down to 460, take it back down to 557, then take it back up. So I think, though, historically speaking, this is a bullish time of the year for the S&P. So we're only $2 away from making, or from previous all-time high. So I do think we will potentially just make a new all-time high this week on SPY. So we'll see. Great chart with you. Appreciate you guys. I don't do GME. I don't believe in technical analysis on GME. I don't think it matters. I think that thing is news and volume driven. I don't think technical analysis really matters on something like GME and AMC, premium stocks. It's just based on flow, data, again, volume, and news squawkers on those names. So, all right, that's it. Those 6 names for the week. Love and appreciate you guys. I'll be trading live all week in the Discord. So I'll also be on Spaces at some points in times with Wolf Financial, and then obviously with Jordan. So I'll be on there, but I will be streaming live my chart, full setup, and everything within the Discord this week. with some other great analysts, including Sharky as my futures analyst. I'm sure he's going to kill futures this week. I've been trading the futures account more often, so I trade ES. I know he trades NQ, but I've been trading futures a lot more. Last week was how majority of the profits that I made were from hitting these areas, and I would take the options, but I would take the futures with it as well, just because you can. Personally, I just like futures when it hits those spots, because if it chops around for a little bit longer before the move happens, there's no theta decay on futures. And just collecting a few points on ES and NQ can uh, pay very nicely and very quickly uh, versus options. So we'll be trading live in the Discord all week. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'll see you guys in the morning.